So this is my issue. This, neutral, right? But you go one click up, it's not in gear yet. You gotta go one more up. And then fourth, barely exists. Same with second. Second doesn't exist. Like this should be neutral, but this is neutral. Reverse, again, also does not exist. Hello everybody, today I am going to be showing you how to replace a roll pin on a Cobalt SS. First thing you're going to want to do is jack up the car, preferably on the driver's side, and place a jack stand somewhere underneath. For the next part, you're going to want to get underneath of the car and look up along the left. And you're going to see two bolts right there holding in the fuse box. Or the fuse box itself. They're 14mm. My bad, they're 13mm. Next step is to come to the back of the car and with a 10mm undo the nut holding this on right here and wiggle off your cable. Your next step is going to be removing this here, which is a 10mm with these connections, and all 5 of these bolts with a 7mm, and then unclipping this plug. Now with these 5 bolts, they're not going to come all the way out, but you got to be careful, do them one at a time. Once one starts to, they'll come out to a tight point, like that, move on to the next. You're also going to want to go around to all these clips and unclip them as well. I don't think there are any at the back. Oh yeah, there is one. And you're gonna keep going around. Making sure everything's unclipped. Sometimes they're like popping back in if you don't keep moving around them. And the goal is to keep loosening all them bolts until all the blocks underneath drop. Now some of these plugs may be finicky and they may not like dropping out of place, so you will have to slowly, one by one, get the bolt undone. They all stay in place. Tip it up enough that you can pull on these, but be gentle, you don't want to break anything. Next step's going to be moving all of these out of the way without crimping wires or anything like that. After everything's kind of moved out of the way, you're going to want to undo this clamp here with a pair of pliers, pull back on this hose, and tuck it back there as well. Next thing I like doing is wiggling this up enough to give you room to pull this coolant overflow out. If you're like me, you already broke off this lock ring, and down here, this has never been redone up. You can just pick up on this and move it a little bit. No, sorry, that's not yet. Right now you're going to be moving this ECU out of the way. You're going to be unclipping it from its holder and moving it that way as well. Now you're going to want to be really gentle with the ECU if you've never played around with it before, because this basically controls, well, your whole engine, so don't fuck up any wires. Next thing you're going to want to do is gently, while moving everything out of the way, you're going to want to pull up on this fuse box, the whole casing itself, and you want to work it up as gentle as you can. Now I'm doing this one-handed, so it's not going to be perfect, but your end result will look like that. Now you can take your coolant overflow. You don't have to do this part, I just like doing it to get things out of my way. You're going to want to unhook this one connector down here. You're just going to lift up on it and set it wherever out of your way. Now that you've kind of got everything tucked out of your way, if you look down in here, you need to twist this so that you can see better. That right there is your roll pin. Now for the next step, I didn't show this part on camera because it's just not fun to do while you're trying to yeah, think about other things. There's 3 bolts there, and these ones are all 5/8. All these side ones are 1/2 inch. You want to take everything out, and you're going to want to unplug. There's a sensor down here, you'll see it. Before you even try to pull the mount out, you want to unplug that, and you just want to wiggle the mount out of here. It gives you all sorts of room to get to that roll pin. What I like to do, everyone will do it differently. Some people say you can do it without removing that trans mount. This is just the way I like to do it. But I'll take a punch, and again, didn't show this on camera, but I'll hit the old pin in far enough to get the new one started, and then I'll continue hitting out the old one while hitting in the new one so everything stays nice and in place. So this is what my end result of the old roll pin looks like. It's done. And you can see the new one's in there. And now it's just to reassemble the way you took it back apart. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped everyone. Yeah. Not totally back together yet, but the new roll pin's in. I'd say it looks a little bit better.